What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Clash Royale video. Now today I'm going to be doing something that I haven't done on my channel in quite a while, and that is actually a top 5/top 10. In today's case it is going to be a top 10, and we're going to go over the top 10 things you probably didn't know about Clash Royale. Now of course, if you have been playing this game for quite a while, you most likely already know some of these things I'm about to talk about. However, if you do learn anything at all throughout this entire video, go ahead and smash that like button down below. Who knows, maybe you will learn something new, maybe you won't if you've been playing for a very long time. However, I think my list is pretty good and you might actually learn a thing or two. Now to start things off, Clash Royale did come out in early January 4th I believe, and it came out in beta, only available to a few countries at a time until March 2nd when it came out globally. I personally have actually been playing Clash Royale since the beta, since early January, I believe the first week it actually came out. I have a video on my channel the very first week it came out going over the game, so if you're really interested to see when I exactly started, go ahead and check that out. However, I really don't recommend doing that because my commentary a year ago was probably awful. Anyway, now that I've said that, most of you are probably going to go over there and check out that video, so I apologize in advance, it's probably really cringeworthy. However, moving on to number 2, the highest arena in the game used to only be the Royal Arena. I believe that it was also at 2,000 trophies at the start of the game, however back then that was the highest arena you could get to. Since then they have come out with some new arenas, including the Legendary Arena, the Jungle Arena, which will be released in 4 days, the Frozen Peak Arena, and they also put an arena right before the Royal Arena, the Builder's Workshop. Every other arena besides those 4 right there have been in the game since the very start, back when the Royal Arena was the highest you could get to. Next up, believe it or not, there was a time in Clash Royale when there were 0 legendaries in the game. As of right now, I believe we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus, I just lost count. Not sure why my screen glitched back up to the top. I'm pretty sure we have around 10 legendaries right now. However, at the start of the game, there were 0 legendaries. After a while, of course, they did put the very first 2 legendaries into the game, and those legendaries were the Princess and the Ice Wizard. It's definitely weird to see that we now have 10 different legendary cards considering there were 0 at the start of the game. It just makes me think about how many we're going to end up with by the end of this year. A really interesting glitch that used to be in the game was one where you could put the Witch behind a tombstone. I believe you had to drop the Witch first and then the tombstone right after, or basically at the same time. And if you did that, the Witch would get stuck in the back corner of the map and you spawn skeletons until it actually died. Which of course was never because it was stuck in the back corner, so the only way to kill this Witch was to either throw a fireball at it or wait until the tombstone expired, and once the tombstone ran out of time, then of course the Witch would go on and be able to move. That was definitely a really overpowered glitch. I remember seeing it a lot actually, and I believe I used it myself, but of course they eventually patched it and it no longer works. Next up, the Goblin Barrel actually did impact damage before they took it away. For the first few months of the Goblin Barrel's existence, it was an extremely overpowered card. Not exactly sure how big of a nerf it was taking away the impact damage, considering it only did around 30 damage or so. Maybe 35, I can't quite remember, but it did used to do impact damage to a tower, any troop you threw it at. As the barrel exploded and released all the goblins, it did do a little bit of impact damage. But of course, they eventually took that away and now it doesn't do any. Moving on to another card, talking about the 3 Musketeers. When these first came out, they actually cost 10 Elixir. 3 Musketeers actually cost 10 Elixir, so you needed a full Elixir bar to actually deploy these. And you might be thinking, how do you mirror a card that has 10 Elixir since it always increases by 1 and you can't have 11 Elixir? Whenever you tried to mirror the 3 Musketeers whenever they cost 10 Elixir, it just simply stayed at 10 Elixir. However, talking about Elixir, 10 Elixir, 11 Elixir, there used to be an 11 Elixir glitch in Clash Royale where technically you could have 11 Elixir at a time. All you had to do for this was drop down a troop as you had 10 Elixir, you had to wait a second or 2 after, and if you waited the perfect amount of time, as you dropped down that troop with the full Elixir bar, you automatically spawned with 1 Elixir. Not the craziest glitch ever, however it could be quite useful in most decks, but of course they ended up taking that away. However, it was out for quite a while. Next, talking about some more cards that have been changed around, the 1 Elixir Skeletons used to only deploy 4 Elixir instead of 3. As of right now and for a long time, the 1 Elixir Skeletons have only deployed 3 at a time, but at the beginning of the game for the first few months they did deploy actually 4 at a time. Another thing that wasn't there at the beginning of the game that we do now have in Clash Royale are some of these chests that we can actually buy. As you all know, we have the magical chest, giant chest, super magical chest. Well, the super magical chest, the legendary chest, and the epic chest actually didn't come out into the game for quite a while, and I believe the giant chest wasn't in the beginning of the game either. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. I could be wrong, however I do have a strong feeling that the giant chest was actually not in the beginning of the game. So back then the best chest you could get was a magical chest. The super magical chest came first, of course, and very recently we got the legendary and the epic chest. However, for the first few months of the game, the highest chest you could get was a magical chest. And last but not least, for the 10th thing that you may not have known about Clash Royale, you cannot always buy legendaries in the shop above 3,000 trophies. As of right now, once you hit the legendary arena, you have the opportunity to sometimes see a legendary card in your shop. However, that was only added a few months ago, and even when there was legendary arena and there were legendary cards, you still weren't able to do that for quite a while. So kind of a quick video today, but I just wanted to go over these top 10 things that you may not have known about Clash Royale, considering we are entering a brand new year right now. Clash Royale just passed their anniversary of being a year old since they did come out in beta on January 4th, so I thought this video would be a cool idea idea. Let me know down in the comment section below if I missed anything or you guys learned something in today's video. However, if you did enjoy today's video, make sure you go ahead and smash that like button down below. Yesterday's video got over 10,000 likes, and I know that was only because you guys all want to see an Eclipse rematch, which will come sometime soon, maybe in the next few weeks or maybe a month or so. So don't worry, we are going to do a rematch sometime soon, but that was just crazy that video got so many likes. I'm not going to ask for that many likes on this video. However, if we could hit 1,000 likes on this video, that would be awesome. So if you did enjoy, go ahead and smash that like button down below. Check out some of the links I have in the description as well. But that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.